So today we're here to talk about how to best prepare for a career fair and why you should go. Okay, the number one thing I hear from international students is, Lisa, nobody's hiring international students. Okay, that's not true. There are people hiring international students. Maybe they're not at the career fair, all of them, but some of them do. And more importantly, these are people in the field who know other people at other companies. So my goal here today is to help you prepare for career fairs, but more importantly, get you thinking about what does it mean to use a venue like career fairs, information sessions, employers coming to campus to start that process of networking and things that you can do best to impress an employer when you meet them. So my hope today is to make this very interactive as well. By that I mean we'll have some activities to get you out of your comfort zone, and ask me questions. Please ask me questions, whatever is on your mind. To me, that is my job to be here, is to answer your questions, okay? So there may be people coming in as I talk, and that's fine. Faye will get them taken care of. So the first thing that I talk about is what are you going to do to prepare before you even go to the career fair? What should you do during the career fair while you're there? And then what should you do after the career fair, okay? So that I know how many people have been to a career fair before. If you don't hear anything else that I say today, you must understand CPT, OPT, and H-1B. You must understand the process, how it works, how long of a time period. My STEM students have a longer time period, okay, for OPT than what maybe an education student will have, unless you're math, okay? So you need to understand it so well that you can explain it to an employer. Because I guarantee you, most of the people at career fair are not HR specialists. They don't understand the process. The only word they know is what? I was going to say no. Right? So don't worry about that piece of it. I want to get you to the place that if a company comes up and says, do you need sponsorship? Okay, if you're doing CPT, do you need sponsorship? No. If you're doing OPT, do you need sponsorship? No. How long? How long? 12 months, unless you're STEM, and then you get an extra 17 months. Okay, 29 months is longer for an employee to work for a company than what a lot of domestic students do before they switch companies. Okay, so I want to get you thinking about what is my value, what do I bring to a company, what do I have that the domestic students don't have, right? And the fact that I know from my experience with international students, loyalty and commitment to a company is going to be much stronger than what sometimes I see with a domestic student. So understand how to present yourself. It's not the question of sponsorship. It's here's what I know, here's the experience I have, here's what I am excited to do, and I want to do it for your company. Okay? So, all right, I should get started. I tend to go off. So before the career fair, before you get there, here's what I want you to do. I want you to know the companies that are going to be there. Can everyone log into Hire a Flyer? You go to career events, career fair, select the spring career fair, and you can view the employers. You can sort the employers using the advanced tool based on the degrees they're looking for. Do that, okay? And I don't want you to plan to go to career fair and see every employer. I want you to select employers who are looking for your degree, who you have done your research on those employers. You know what they do, what their mission is, what they value, and you can read this all on their website. I want you to go to the job postings. Most will be in Hire a Flyer, maybe not all of them. Go to their website. What is a job you're targeting that you want to get with that company? So that when you talk to them, you're not walking up and saying, "Hi, I'm Lisa. What do you guys do?" There is not a single person at the career fair who likes to answer the question, "What do you do?" All right, a lot of students do it. It's common. I did it myself when I was in grad school and I went to the career fair. At that point, I didn't know these things, okay? So, rather than that, you're going to go up, you're going to present yourself, and you're going to tell them, "I've done my research on your company, and I'm very excited about what you're doing in the field of XYZ. I've had some experience with ABC, and I think my strengths are this. How do I apply to the position I saw?" Or, "What else should I do? Who else should I talk to?" Okay? You're making connection. You need to make an impression, right? So you're going to do your research, and you're going to create that target list. There's 150 employers. You will not have time to see 150 employers. You want to select 5, maybe 10. You want to rank order them, highest priority. And the very first one you go to is one that you don't care about. Got that? You don't care about them because you want to get the jitters out. You want to get the nerves out. You want to practice with one you don't care about first. Don't spend a lot of time there, but practice. Does that make sense so far? Okay. So you're researching. You're going to get your materials. Resume, resume, resume. Resume is not a CV. CVs are long. CVs have personal information. CVs have pictures. You want a one-page resume that is perfect English, that is very presentable, meaning it looks good to the eye, and has all the good information about what you know, what skill sets you have. You can include work experience, paid or unpaid. My engineers, project experience, projects that you've done, okay? Volunteer experience, okay? If I volunteer and I'm managing a lot of people, and that's a skill set that a job calls for, I'm going to talk about that volunteer experience. Leadership, participation in on-campus associations, student associations, groups, include all that. Show them you're active, okay? Very often, students think, I should just put the academic piece or the paid work experience. Not true. Employers are looking at the whole person. What do you do in your off time? Why? It shows that you're not just focused on academics, but you have the ability to do other things and you have other interests. Make sense? Okay. So you're going to do that resume. You're going to have it reviewed. Don't trust yourself. Okay, bring it to me. I'll look at it. Don't trust me. Take it to somebody else. Do the resume review days. Is everyone familiar with that? Anyone who's not? Resume review days. It's held right here in KU. We bring employers here. Give them a clean one. Go to the next employer. Give them a clean one. And then you take all those opinions. That's what it is. There is no perfect resume, ever. You take all those opinions, you think about it. What makes sense for me? How do I best want to market myself to an employer, right? It's a marketing tool, that's all. Make sense? Okay. Prepare some questions. I have 5 companies I'm going to go see. I've done my research. I have a really good idea what they do. But during my research, I have a few questions. Those are the questions you want to ask the person that you get to meet with. Okay? Some students will make business cards. They're cheap, right? Have your name, your contact information, and if the employer doesn't want to take a resume, maybe they'll take your business card. So at least they're getting your information. Be creative with your business card if you decide to do one. Make sure the English is perfect if you decide to do one. Make sense? Okay. This is something most people don't do, so I'm trying to help you understand how you can best present yourself. What do I wear? Okay. This is probably a bit bright. This is my Valentine's suit. I won't wear this to the career fair. I would wear these black pants with a nice black jacket. Anybody here who does not have a suit? Does not have a suit, own a suit? Okay, borrow somebody's. Make sure when you go to the career fair, you look like you're ready for business. It makes a difference. Truly. I witnessed a student walk into the career fair in flip-flops. Everybody know what a flip-flop is? You don't wear flip-flops to a career fair. Never, never. Jeans, I love them. I would wear them every day with my rock concert t-shirt if I could. I would not wear that to a career fair. Okay? So look sharp. Lots of pictures online of what that looks like. Value statements. This is that piece of why am I important? Not do you sponsor. That should never be your question to an employer. It's why can I add value to what you do and the customer that you serve? Make that connection for the employer. You will impress them much, much more that way. Okay? Promise me right now. Raise your hand if you promise me. You're not going to open up an introduction with, do you sponsor? Promise? Raise your hand if you promise me that. Okay. I have one who's going to say it. You didn't raise your hand. You have to raise your hand. Okay. Know yourself. What's that mean? What do you think that means? Say?
Strength and weakness.
Strengths and weaknesses. That's a great way to know yourself. What do you want to do in the next 5 years? Do you know? Think about it. Spend some time thinking about what are my strengths, what are my weaknesses, what do I want to do, what do I like, what am I passionate about? Okay, I'm passionate about international students. Can you tell that? Okay, he's like, no. Oh, it's true, I am. Okay, because I know what it's like to be in another country. I've done it, and I know what it's like. All right, so what are you passionate about in engineering? Is it energy? Okay. What are you passionate about in education? Is it small children? Adults? You know, who do you want to teach? Think about it, right? Finance. Why money? Money's good. Money brings money, but why? Why my company? Why do you want to work for my company? Why should I hire you over you? Okay? Think about those things. That's knowing yourself. All right. Dressing for success. We talked about this a little bit. All right. So what we have here is a gentleman who on his right side looks pretty decent. I would still say do a suit if you have it. He does have a tie. Left side, not so good. Okay. Hair neat. Guys, if you shave, shave. All right. If you have a beard, wear a beard that's trimmed. Okay. Hair's nice. Okay. We're talking odor-free. Don't smell one way or the other. I tell this to my son who likes that Axe stuff. I'm like, no, that smells too bad. Okay. Think about those things. Nails, clean, right? I garden. Last thing I want to do after gardening is go to a career fair having not cleaned the dirt out of underneath my nails. So think about that. Shoes, nice, shiny. Same thing with ladies, no spaghetti straps, not that we're gonna have that here. You wanna make sure your suit is nice, no holes in the jeans, that type of thing. Any questions about attire? Once again, you can go online and see lots of examples, okay? So the value statement. So have you ever heard the phrase elevator speech? The phrase elevator speech comes from if I get onto an elevator with the owner of the company I want to work for, and I've got from the first floor to the fourth floor to tell them why I'm important, that's where the name comes from. You've got that much time, 20 seconds maybe. So you want to practice this. I'm going to tell you about the concept. We're going to practice it in here today, but then you're going to go stand in front of a mirror. You're going to go to your roommates. You're going to practice to your roommates. You're going to be used to saying that before you go to the career fair and say it to a real professional. Does that make sense? Okay? So make that commitment. If you're going to go to a career fair, practice your value statement. So exactly it. My name, my major, when I'm going to graduate, what I want to do, what my skills and strengths are, what you're looking for, how you identify it with the company. And then you're going to follow up with a question. Okay, so I come up, hi, my name is Lisa. You're like in my spot right there. I'm going to go pick on this guy. Hi, my name is Lisa Witt, and I'm from the University of Dayton. I just graduated, and I really want to be a career advisor, and I love working with international students. That was part of my research, so I'm really hoping to work with the University of Dayton. How do you like working for UD?
Well, I like UD. I like working with UD because it's my,
So if the more you practice, the more comfortable you'll be when you talk to a real recruiter, okay? So please, please do that. Promise me. All right, good job. So that was before the career fair, okay? Now, next thing we're going to talk about is what are you going to do at the career fair? You want to make sure you arrive earlier rather than later, mainly because the recruiters get tired. Okay, the crowds are, the lines are shorter at the beginning than they are at the end as well. So those are some good reasons to arrive early. We'll talk about what you bring, how to check in, how to plan your routes, how to make a good first impression, okay? So the first thing you want to think about bringing, and usually I bring my Padfolio, and I don't know if I have it with me. Oh, let's see here. We're going to pretend this is a Padfolio. So I'm talking about a folder, okay, that's going to neatly store your resumes, maybe a pen, okay, because you don't want to be carrying around a lot of things that are going to fall or look messy, right? So a Padfolio is going to help you look very professional. You want to have something to write with. You are not going to take notes while you're talking to an interviewer, okay? But when you walk away from that booth and you're out of eyesight of who you were just talking to, write some notes down about what you talked about. Hopefully you got their business card. Flip it over, write down something special about that conversation. Either what you talked about. Can you tell when you connect with somebody? Do you know what I mean when I say connect? All right? There's a spark. Not a physical one, electrical engineers, but there's that, smile, eyes light up. Oh, okay. Whatever that was with that recruiter, write that down because you're going to write thank you letters after the career fair. And you want to talk about, it was so nice to meet you at the UD career fair. I really enjoyed talking about whatever that spark was. And I look forward to hearing from you, or I hope to hear from you, okay? Just short. So you want to bring copies of your resume. You have a target list. If your target list is 10 companies, Bring a few more just in case there's multiple people at the company booth. Or if a company shows up that wasn't originally on the list, and that happens, we can't control that. Companies add and drop all the time. So have some extras just in case you decide to stop. Or if you talk to a recruiter and the recruiter says, no, we're not hiring international students, but I know they are, and you didn't know they were going to be there. Okay, so have some extra copies. Have your questions ready. If you have a target list inside your folder and you came up with questions during your research, have those questions ready. So before I go up to your booth, I'm going to take a peek at that. Oh yeah, that's what I wanted to ask them. And then I won't be looking at the questions. I'll remember it as I go up. Okay? And then if you have those personal business cards, if you decide to make them, you'll have that inside your Padfolio as well. So that at the end, I have my resume. Would you like a copy? Yes, I would. You can take it out and give that to them. Or if they say, no, 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 we're not taking resumes here, upload it online. Oh, okay, well, here's my business card instead. Okay, offer your business card. If you decide to do that, don't feel like you have to, but it would set you apart. Now, when you get there, you're going to see me and my colleagues at a table. Just like you swiped in here, you're going to swipe in to check in. Okay? We'll make sure you look good. We'll give you a name tag. You'll put the name tag on the right side because most people, when you shake hands, are going to look up on that right side. So you want them to be able to see your name. We'll give you a map. UD Arena is huge, right? You'll take the map. You have your target list. You'll figure out where those companies are on the map so you know which way you're going to go at the arena. There's 2 levels. It wraps around the top level, the floor. You kind of go back and forth. So make sure you know where you're going. The LinkedIn booth. Okay, how many people have a LinkedIn profile? Excellent. How many people are thinking about getting one? Good. We will take free photos there at the career fair. We have a professional photographer. You're already dressed up, and we'll actually have the booth next to sign in this time. So before you put your name tag on, because the sticky stuff doesn't stick well once you take it on and off, go get your photo taken first, then put your name tag on. Okay? All right. Plan your route as I was discussing. Which way am I going to go? Get your photo. Go to the least interesting employer first to practice. And the reason I say go early is if you go early, it'll look something like this. If you go late, it's going to look something like that. Okay? So to avoid frustration, number 1, you are not here to have a 20-minute conversation with any employer for this reason alone. Okay? It's brief. That's why the elevator value statement is so important. You don't get a lot of time. That's why looking sharp is so important because people will make a judgment in seconds. You made one about me when you came in the room, and you knew right away if I looked professional or not, right? We all do that. Those recruiters are trained to do that. So if you kind of walk up, kind of, you know, so what do you do? Right? Versus the nice smile, the greeting. It's a pleasure to meet you. My name's Lisa. Okay? And you go right into it. So think about how you present yourself. Think about the cues. If there's a long queue with the company you want to talk to and you don't want to interrupt, I'm telling you, you don't want to interrupt the recruiter. So try to make eye contact with them if you can. If they're talking to other students and you're waiting and it's taking a little while, try to make eye contact of, you know, I'm interested. And then if that still doesn't work, then just go on to your next booth and then come back to that one. Okay. Likewise, if you have the recruiter's full attention and you're having a great conversation and you see the queue is 30 people behind you, don't dominate the person's time. Be the one to say, oh, I see you have a really long line. As much as I'm enjoying talking to you, I want to be respectful of everyone's time. Wow, that will impress them if you're considerate. Make sense? Okay. Now, so we talked about approaching the booth, how you're going to do it, your greeting, hello, hi. We're going to talk about the handshake, which is so important. Small talk. What's small talk? What do you think small talk is? Am I going to come right up and say, hi, I'm Lisa, and I'm a student at the University of Dayton here, and I'm in engineering, and I really want to get a job with you? Am I going to dive right into that conversation?
No.
That's odd, isn't it? Like in your face. So small talk is, nice turnout today. Wow, I really like your booth. The booth looks great. You must be getting really tired if you're kind of near the end of it, right? You want to make some small talk. Great weather for this today. Or can you believe it's 10 degrees? I'm ready for spring. That's small talk, okay? You're not going to spend a lot of time with that, but you want to kind of break that entrance with that employer instead of going right into your value statement, okay? All right. And then initiating the exit. That's how do I leave the booth, okay? We'll talk about that too. So, when you're approaching, you're going to be warm and friendly. You're going to greet, you're going to smile, you're going to shake hands. Anyone here who culturally does not shake hands? Anybody who does not shake hands? Because that's okay. I'll talk you how to handle that if that is the case. No one? Okay. Okay. So if you go up to a male recruiter, you're not going to shake his hand. So what you're going to do culturally, and share this with your friends who may be in the same boat, is when you go up, it's a pleasure to meet you. Okay, you can just kind of put your hand over your heart. They'll understand. If they go in for the shake, right, say, oh, as much as I would love to shake your hand, culturally I don't. But I am excited to meet you. Okay, so you're still going to smile. You're still going to make them feel included, right, and genuine, but you're going to do it in a way that isn't like, how can you dare ask me to shake your hand? Okay? So that's how you want to handle that. You've done your research. You want to reflect your knowledge of the company. Okay? Eye contact. So important. All right? Culturally, some cultures, the eye contact is rude, right? It's better to avert your eyes. U.S. culture is to make the eye contact. It indicates confidence. It indicates trust. It indicates sincerity, truthfulness, okay? So if someone doesn't look me in the eye, if my son doesn't look me in the eye, I think he is lying to me. Where were you last night? I'm not telling you. No, seriously, I asked him, are there going to be girls at this party? And he's like, no. And his head's like doing this. Is that a yes or a no? Your mouth is saying one thing. Eye contact, so important. Okay, and then you're going to project that passion of why you're interested. All right, so we're going to practice the handshake. All right, Faye, would you join me up here, please? So, for the handshake, you're going to go in, all right, and you're just going to be a couple shakes and then let go. All right, it's not going to be the, oh, I'm so pleased to meet you, Faye. Thank you so much for coming today. It's just been really great. So nice to meet you. Okay, you're not going to do that, right? And you're also not going to do the fishy, wimpy hand thing, okay? Anybody sweat, perspire, sweaty palms? Anyone? You're not going to admit it in this group, right? Okay, I'm sweaty right now, aren't I? That's from talking. But if you do, or someone you know does, you just want to make sure you kind of, before you go up, wipe those sweaty palms off before you go in for that shake. The hand is going to be cupped, okay, where the thumbs meet. You're going to go in that far. It's not going to be this, you're not going to do that. Right? Likewise, you're not going to do the bump thing either, all right? So we're going to practice that. All right, so stand up. A lot of decisions are made on the handshake. I know that's small. It seems unimportant if I'm a highly intelligent, capable engineer, but people are making those judgments that quick. Okay, so have the perfect handshake, the great smile, the eye contact. You guys will be great, I promise. Okay, so we did that. Any questions about that? Questions or reservations? Okay. What not to do? We've already practiced that, right? Everyone promised they're not going to ask if anyone sponsors. Okay, likewise, how much does this position pay? Okay, employer does not want to think you're all about the money. You're all about the experience, what the company does, who they serve, the customer they serve. That's your passion. The pay will come later. Don't make that your priority yet, okay? Okay, this next one I have to say. So I talk to a lot of employers, and international students will come up and they will do you sponsor? But you're not going to do that, right? But if you get the sorry, we don't hire non-U.S. citizens, your body language is so important, okay? You understand body language? Or the right? It's your 10th employer. Okay, eye rolling. Okay, you're going to be, oh, thank you for letting me know that. I'm still interested in your company, or at least this industry. Do you know someone else who may hire? Okay, you are there to network. You are there to make contacts. If you get a stiff arm and a no, that's okay, no problem. Because I'm still a good engineer here and I really want a job, right? Well, you're not going to say that. But you're going to say, no problem, no problem. But I'm very interested in this industry. Do you know of anyone who I should talk to? Who should I talk to? Okay? Now, the second piece, I had the question come up. I've looked at the list. I've got 11 companies that I'm interested in, and 6 have stated in their positions that they only hire U.S. citizens. Should I still talk to them? That's the question. All right. So number 1, there's a tool in Hire a Flyer called Going Global. Going Global has a list, an H-1B list. I see people taking notes. It's like everyone's heads were like going global. That's right. This list is a backward look for the last year of what companies have petitioned for H-1B. It means they know how to fill out the H-1B paperwork, and they've submitted it to our government. We don't know if they got the lottery, but at least you know they know how to fill out the paperwork. So I say take your list of companies that you're interested in. Go to the H-1B list. See if they're in there. Okay? And if they're in there, make sure you go see them. Now, if the position says U.S. citizens only, but you see the company is on the H-1B list, I would still go to that company. And it would go something like, I noticed the jobs you have posted say U.S. citizens only, but I do know your company has petitioned for H-1B in the past. Who else in the company might I talk to? Okay? Connections. So you're going to have knowledge of whether they have petitioned ever before. Okay? That's point 1. Point 2 is if it's something you really want to do. Now, first, especially my engineers, there are companies who cannot hire non-U.S. citizens because of government contracts. Don't go to those companies. Otherwise, you're just beating your head against the wall, right? Don't do that to yourself. But if you do your research and they say global, if you look another resource in Hire a Flyer is Uniworld. It'll tell you what companies are headquartered in the U.S. that operate overseas, or what overseas companies operate in the U.S. That can also be a good resource. Check that list to see if any of these companies are in Uniworld. It means they have global connectivity. Go to those global companies. You are global students, okay? You have skills from having survived in another country, your education system, all right? And companies need that. That is a skill you have that a lot of applicants will not have. So use that. Okay. Okay. So departing. When you leave, you're going to ask for their business card. Do you have a business card? May I have a business card? Okay. Hopefully they will have one and they will give it to you. Would you like a copy of my resume? Okay, we talked about that. If it's yes, give them a copy. If it's no, oh, well, I have a business card. Would you like that instead? And just have it out and ready to go. Okay. I would, if I have my Padfolio and I've looked at my questions and I have my resume going up to this booth, before I go to the booth, I'd take that resume out and have it ready to go. That way I'm not doing what you just saw me doing. All right, so you have it ready to go. It still looks neat, and you still, so that when you leave, you can say, oh, okay. All right, you'll look very smooth doing that. We talked about taking your notes. Before you go to the next booth that you want to go to, take a deep breath. Know which company it is. Remember what they do. Look at your questions. Kind of regroup before you go on to the next one. All right, so you're in the right frame of mind about what that conversation might look like. So at the career fair, oh, we already did that. After the career fair, write a thank you letter. If you have business cards, you have names, you have an address. Handwritten is best. Email is okay. It doesn't have to be a long letter. It was very nice meeting you at the UD Career Fair. I enjoyed talking about XYZ. I'm hoping that my strengths and skills, whatever those are, will be enough for an opportunity for this position. Advertise, whatever it is. You figure it out. In that 10-page booklet I gave you, there's an example of what to say. But make it your own words. Don't do verbatim, because then if the same company, all of you guys, all the same letter, they're going to be like, nice job, Lisa. Okay, make it your words, okay, from your heart. LinkedIn, for those of you who have LinkedIn, after the career fair, a day or so after, do a LinkedIn request with that person. It was so nice meeting you, okay? I would love to connect. And then if the employer says, yes, I'm very interested in you, please go to our website and submit your application. If they say to do that, go do that. Follow their instructions. If they say, we will be here next week for interviews, and I would like you to sign up for the interview schedule. Log into Hire a Flyer and sign up for the interview schedule. Okay? Follow their instructions. Sometimes students will think that's some form of rejection and they'll discard what they're being told to do. If they tell you to do something, do it. Okay? Because they are interested. All right. So, what did I say my number one complaint was? So why should you go? Let's pretend all 150 employers at this career fair will not hire you. Why should you go? Experience, yes. Networking, yes. Come on, you guys are in college. Come on. What else? Louder? Gathering information. You're informing yourself about these companies. If I go up to a recruiter who's rude, do I want to work for that company? No, not really. Not really, right? Great. What else? Because I have more reasons. Let's see if you guys know. Excellent. You're going to improve your communication skills. Okay? Anybody in here perfect at English? Raise your hand. I'm not. I got that southern twang thing going on sometimes if I need to. All right? I've got family from Kentucky. All right? My English is not good. All right. So, you're going to make connections. You're going to practice your skills. You're going to get names. Okay? Ask for names of hiring managers. The people at the career fair usually are not the hiring people. They're usually alumni who just want to come back to UD. That happen to work for the company. Hey, we have a career fair, who wants to go? Oh, I'll go. They don't know. They don't know. So you want to say, I saw a position and the person has no idea what the position is because they're not the hiring people. So don't get upset about that. It's okay. Do you know who the hiring manager is for this position? Maybe they'll have a name. Get that name. Gather information about the companies. Okay? For the companies that do hire, you want to impress. Nobody will hire the day of the career fair. Do you believe that? Nobody will hire that day. You're not there to get a job that day. You are there to make an impression. For them to say, ah, I did like this person, and they will go back to their managers and say, here's the people you should call. Maybe. Or they may say, we're going to be having interviews. I would like you to come. Okay? So it's just about networking. It's not about getting a job that day. So let that piece go. Increase your exposure. Every time you're in front of somebody, okay? Go back again the next time. You see them at the career fair, and then you go to the information session that the company has on campus. Now you've seen them twice. They're like, oh, you again. Okay, you're practically best friends now, right? He's like, not really. All right, you're going to see if your interest is what the company needs. If I'm interested in sustainability and I think that that's what this company does, and you're talking to the recruiter and they're like, you know, that's what we used to do, but now we're going this way. Well, maybe that's not the company you want to be with anyway. This is a good one, right here. Okay? Your friend may be better at networking than you. And he's got a list of all these names of people he's going to go contact. So you want to talk to your friends. Hey, how did career fair go for you? Oh, well, I talked to this one recruiter who gave me this name. Or you need to go see this booth because they are hiring. Hire a Flyer said they weren't. Okay? So share with each other. Okay? You want to do that too. Each person you meet, who else do you know? Who else might I talk to? Are you aware of other companies, other people? Okay? Get names. Practicing your value statement, increasing your confidence. That's the number one reason to go. Now, that's contrary to logic. If I go up to the career fair and I get 10 rejections, how does that increase my confidence? I don't think so. Attitude. Okay? Attitude. Right? So, even if you get 10 rejections, you are there. A lot of people aren't even showing up. You're practicing. That is going to increase your confidence because then the next time, when it really matters, you're going to have some skill you didn't have before.